crime-free society, and we are there to protect life and property. One of the things we have, and we are giving assurance to Ugandans that police and its sister agencies are vigilant, and they are giving security to everyone that is heading to Namugongo. Those that have reached and those that are coming, there are guidelines that are put on all ways, and we have our police people there. Officers are always there, guiding and giving, and that's why we are calling upon the Ugandans. When you are guided to pass in some direction, you behave and do the same, because if you go contrary, sometimes you may get problems. Therefore, we are calling upon you for your obedience and cooperation. We are calling upon the discipline, because remember, you are going for the cause of God. Therefore, if you are going for the cause of God, you have to be obedience, because I hear obedience is better than sacrifice. Therefore, we are calling upon you. For us as the police, we are doing our part, but we can't do it alone. We want you also to be part of the preparations so that you go safely. Everyone that is preparing to cause havoc, we're going to arrest, because the ground is deployed. People are deployed in every corner, those in uniform and those without uniforms. Therefore, you be vigilant, and I'm calling upon my brothers and sisters that are going. You be vigilant. Know that it is you who is safe. Don't trust everyone you find on the way, unless the person you found putting on a uniform, that one you can ask for the direction. But if you find someone who has not identified himself, or you don't know, don't go into his traps, because many are planning to kidnap, are planning to rob, are planning to do all sorts of things. Because you remember in every gathering, because when the people of God gathered, even the devil did the gather. You joined. Therefore, we are calling upon you. No, not everyone is right. Follow the guidelines. If they tell you don't go past this side, pass the side they've told you. If they say that stop this at this point, stop at that point. We want you to get out of that place alive, and that is our accountability now as police officers. Therefore, that's why again I'm calling upon the police officers that are deployed everywhere that you are deployed. Just know that is the accountability Ugandans are looking for. They want the safety, and they know that you pledged to secure their lives. Therefore, we want you to be good to those people, talk to them well, have that customer care. If someone wants guidance, don't back at them. If they have not understood, explain to them so that they know what is right. We want to bring back the relationship between police and the people, and the people to bring back their trust. Therefore, this is a time you police officers, you have to exhibit great discipline to these people. Try not to be emotional, and we call upon even people not to be emotional, because I know they are tired. They are moving long distances. Some are tired, but comply with what is there so that you may get what you're looking for.
Now, ASP, we have spoken about the measures that you have put in place for the celebrations, just ahead of the celebrations. Now, I would like to know, what measures had you put in place for these pilgrims moving even alongside the roads to ensure that they arrive safely?
As I've told you, that we have deployed heavily. Traffic personnel are on the road, and officers are on the road. We are giving them guidelines and guidance. That's why where people are passing, we stopped vehicles, we diverted. Some vehicles are not passing. That's why I'm saying that if you are told to pass in this direction, you use that direction. Don't use the direction you know. Use the direction you are guided to go through. Because the direction we have diverted cars, there are places that are not going to be passing due to this. And it is for some time, people should be patient. And those ones that are moving on the road, don't go in the middle of the road. That's why we are moving with them. The traffic personnel and other officers are moving with them. In every junction, there are police officers, and they're on the road up to Namugongo, from wherever they are, all over, from Masaka, from Barara, everywhere. They are there for guidance. And we are very secure and we are very safe. It is just cooperation. People not to divert, because they always say that when you divert on the way, you become another poisonous thing. Therefore, call upon you guys to be on a track. Help us, we help you.
Yeah. Okay, now we have seen a lot of deployment, especially in Namugongo. You have mentioned about deployment, along the roads, where these pilgrims are moving. How did these preparations for this event begin? When, rather, did they begin?
All right. Now we started preparations. We started deploying all of this week.
Okay.
All of this week, deployment has been there, and we've been securing the place. We deployed before anything happened. Why? We went there for surveillance. We went there to check if the place is secure before, because you can gather, or yet something has already been done.
Yeah.
But we started before.
Okay.
All of this week, police officers are there, because the day that people started coming, that is the day. But we deployed before people came. Why? Because we wanted a secure landing for them, and when they find us on the ground, they have the confidence. Therefore, we started earlier, and all of this week, police officers are sleeping there day and night. That is why we are saying it is safe for everyone. And those ones those countries that are planning to cause havoc, to cause harm, we are ready for them. Yeah.
Okay, so we have seen the side of the police, but have you tried creating public awareness, or have you given the community safety guidelines ahead of this day?
Yeah, we have done that, and that's why, again, I'm emphasizing it here. Yeah, we've done community policing in different places, in different areas, and they are still doing it on the ground, because we have our people there who are having microphones, speaking, talking to those people that are programs that have come to how to handle their issues, where to go, how to be, and any guidance they need, because we have tents there. We have tents there for family, child and family, because we expect children to disappear. We expect those things. Therefore, there are guidelines there. We are on ground. That is what I can say. We are on ground, and we are empowered. We are not working alone. We are with our sister forces, because police in the lead, there is army, prison. We are all working together for the safety of the Ugandans.
Now, of course, you have mentioned that public awareness is being done, and the community does have a very important role to play. So what role does this community have to play in identifying threats, potential threats, especially before that day and even on that day?
Yeah. And that's why I'm talking about vigilance. I talked about vigilance, that not everyone comes to you is good. And that is why we are creating the relationship with them, saying that if you suspect anything that is not right, it is a call away. That's why we are guiding them, that we have tents. There are police tents that are around there, that you can run faster. We want quick response. But how shall we do the quick response if you are not informed? Therefore, we call upon you people, you inform us immediately. When you suspect something, you suspect someone, you come, and we shall do our intelligence, and we shall get the truth. Yeah. That's why we need people, because we cannot do it alone. That's why we call upon them to come and tell us timely information. Timely information will try to eliminate that could have happened, and we could save others. Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned that, you have tents where people can actually run to, give you quicker and faster information. But is there maybe a toll-free number that someone can actually call on to get much faster to you, other than having, to be able to reach that tents? I might be here and I see a potential threat, but I will not be able to run to that tent to tell you what's happening.
Yes.
So is there a specific number that someone can maybe call on to see that they are able to address this much faster?
Yeah, there are numbers, immediate numbers, and those numbers that were before.
Okay.
They are before, they are given, and they are everywhere on the signposts. But being that we are in a move, and that is why we are everywhere, so that where you see anything, you approach police officers, because they are everywhere. What I mean, that you cannot move a meter without finding a police officer. Therefore, that is why we have, because the moment you get a phone to call, sometimes the network, sometimes anything, but if that one is there immediately, you run immediately and inform.
Okay. Then are there any designated safe zones, first aid stations that will be at the site?
Yeah, of course, the Red Cross, as usual, is on the ground. Ambulances are always there. What I'm trying to mean here, that we, as the security agencies, we are ready. It is just a call for you to comply. We need these people to comply. You are the first security officer of yourself. Therefore, I want you to know that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're attracting insecurity. Therefore, we want you to know where to path. We want you to know where to be. If you are to be in this area, be in that area. If you are to be in this, don't go there to mix things. Because sometimes Ugandans come when they have other motives. You know what took you there, have a focus, and do specifically what took you there. Don't meander around, don't move around, you are coming from the village, again you want to visit somewhere before you go back, that one will cause problem. And we are calling upon the parents, if you've decided to move with your child, take care. Move with that child, don't leave the child anywhere. And if you can, leave them at home, better. But if you think you cannot leave them at home and you want to move with your children, take more responsibility on those children. Because you will give accountability after it all. We shall arrest you of negligence. Yes, you make sure your children are safe and move where you know that it is safe for you. Don't just move far. Just know where you're supposed to be. If you're supposed to be in this shrine, be in that shrine. If you're supposed to be in this shrine, be in that shrine. If you're supposed to be in this gate, use that gate. Don't again use the other gate and again come out of this gate, you'll get lost. And that is what we are calling upon. But security is guaranteed. And emergencies are always there. Red Cross is there. Ambulances are there. And we have doctors are there. Everything is set well. It is just upon the people to behave rightly.
Okay. Now, compared to last year, what are we hoping to see that is improved in terms of security this year, in terms of surveillance and monitoring? What can you say the police has done to make sure that this year is much better compared to last year?
It is already a sign, because so far you've not had anything. And last year, by now, things had started going berserk. People had started robbing. People had started, things had started occurring. But because for us, we learn from the first mistake and we improve. There is a lot of improvement. And that's why the other time the deployment was not like today. Because now the deployment is more heavier than last year. Therefore, we improve. We do self-evaluation. We will do evaluation about what happened, and we see now what is needed. We just don't just come for, we plan. And we've planned heavily. Everything is safe and set for the 3rd of June.
What are some of the challenges that you faced in last year's celebrations as the police force? Yeah,
challenges we faced is people having their own set mind, and again the guidelines that we are given, because someone has what he wants, but there is what you should do. There are those things at some point it was a challenge, but because they are our people and we are there to serve them, we tolerated and we could guide them. And now we learned more that we need these people, and these people are vulnerable. They don't know. It is us to what? To let them know. That's why we deployed earlier than the other time. So that we fight the challenges that we experienced the other time.
Now, in case of a security breach, because we can expect anything, anything can happen, but just in case there's a security breach, what is there specific protocol that you have put up as the police force to ensure that everyone is, safe at the end of the day?
Yeah, as I've told you, that our major role as a police officer or a security personnel is life of an individual. Life of Ugandans. Therefore, being that is our major target, life, we put more emphasis on life. and we don't want anything that troubles a Ugandan. Therefore, anything that comes to attack or to threaten a life of a Ugandan, we come in strongly to prevent it or to stop it. Because for us, we detect. We don't just prevent, but we detect even. When we detect something could happen, then we do some measures before it happens. That's why we have these people that detect bombs. They go there. We have. We are ready for the security of the Ghanaians, for their safety, and that is why we call upon them that we cannot work in isolations. We need them. We need them to comply. We need them to cooperate. We want all those things of those blame games to stop, and we work together. And that is how we shall provide good security to us too, because we are also human and we also need security. We call upon them that they should relieve the grudges they do have upon us, and they know that we are one, and the goal is different. The goal is different because you are not putting on a uniform, I'm putting on a uniform. My goal is to make you secure, and your goal is to be secure. You know the difference. You are to be secure, but me to make you
secure.
Therefore, we want to work hand in hand to know that I want the best for you. When I tell you this, do that. I'm not against you, but I desire the best. I desire to go back home alive.
Okay. And what other stakeholders can you mention some of those other stakeholders that you're working with to ensure that the day moves as smoothly as it can?
The stakeholders, of course, religious people.
Okay.
Those are the first personnel that we are working together with. We are working with, as I told you, security agencies, other security agencies, working with hospitals. They have provided personnel for medical attention. We are working with people over. Just know that it is a combination of many people that are coming out to bring out the good day of third. A lot of people are working together with us to see a great day happen without incidences, without crime.
Now, in case there's a threat assessment made, how does the police force deal with that as early as now?
As I said, that we are always ready and people are on ground, and we detect. If we detect anything, action is ready to happen. Why? Because people are set for that. There are some people that are set, and we have what they call enforcement. Not every police officers are on ground there, that the Uganda police force is all over. No, there are those that come for enforcement. Therefore, that means that if anything is detected, the action, people to act on that are there specifically.
If you could also enlighten us more on the entry points, because I do understand that there are people who will be spending the night over there. So will people be permitted to still go there on the actual day, or will the gates be closed at some point? For maybe security purposes. If you can enlighten us on that.
I beg your pardon?
We see that there are of course, lots of people are going to be there at the site. And we know that sometimes the numbers can be overwhelming. So as the police force, how are you planning to see that, these numbers are even controlled? And even as you control these numbers, can people still access that place on the actual day?
All right. That is why we have gates. Because it is not an open place that everyone just bumps in. We have there is gates that people use to enter, and there are people that check. And if we find out that the place is full, we cannot allow more inside. That one we are very sure of that if the number inside is overwhelming, we shall stop them and they will do it outside.
So we have to go there as early as possible.
Exactly. But still, if you've not entered, again you can do it outside, because there are some special arrangements outside of because people can. That is exactly, the people should be many, and there will be many. But again, there should be measures. You plan, and you have to have plan B still.
Yeah.
The plan B is there, that if the place is full, again, other people also won't miss. They will be around, but not inside. Yeah.
And we are still assured of security for those who will be outside.
Exactly. Because security is over. As I told you, all of this week, police officers have been sleeping there.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we are going to go for a short commercial break, but do stay tuned because we are discussing the security vigilance that is needed, or rather that the police is going to be giving us ahead of the Martyrs Day celebrations. We'll be right back.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Yes, welcome back. We are discussing security vigilance ahead of the Martyrs Day celebrations, and with me is ASP Sebuliba Muhammad, the Community Liaison Officer of Nansana. Now, we know that even ahead of this special event, there's a lot of misinformation also going around. And of course, this misinformation has to be addressed before the day comes. So how does the police deal with that?
Misinformation. Of course, giving false information is a case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I want Ugandans to know, that being that the number will be much, it doesn't stop us from acting and arresting. And very many are going to be arrested. Very many are going to be arrested, and they will serve their penalties. Therefore, what we are trying to say, that if you do something wrong, if you give false information or forge things like that, you are going to be arrested and you will be put to cells. Therefore, avoid that. If you have gone to do what you're supposed to do, go and do it, other than finishing in cells. Yes, if people are giving false information, that is a case automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will answer. Yes.
Then also, have you also faced a challenge of, disseminating information, especially in hard to reach areas? Yes, as the police. You said you have been creating awareness, but we know that there are those people coming from far to reach areas, very far to reach areas, and they may not know these guidelines.
Police is everywhere. Police is not in Namugongo. Police is in every village, in every sub-county. And in every sub-county, every police officer is a community liaison officer.
Okay.
Therefore, they do community policing, they engage the community and they inform them. Just because sometimes others don't want to engage themselves in village council, village meetings, and we urge them, always when the meeting is called upon, go and attend. You never know, you might get something to learn from there and you might help another person. Therefore, the information, we have circulated it in deep places because police is everywhere, and we've always wanted to bring that good relationship with the people. And still on radios, we have always used radios to speak on radios, and again we are talking to them that have come. Therefore there is no excuse on that. Yes.
Okay. Then also, what steps are being taken to ensure that even people with disabilities are being catered for, that their safety is also ensured? How has the police, brought that in?
Being that those that are having disabilities are human, that means they are catered for. Because for us, our major role or our focus is of people, not classes of people. We are for all. We are for all. Therefore, we have arrangements for them, and they are there. They are there. There are those people, as I told you, that there is child and family department, there is the disability department, there is every departments are there, and they are worked on well.
So can you also say that there's a special safe space for women and children at the event?
Exactly. Those that are having, because there are those that come that when they are weak, and those that come that when they are sick, again we have that arrangement for them. They are where sick people are, where children are, where those with disabilities are. We have all the arrangements. That's why we say that there are desks everywhere there is a police officer, and every police officer you find is a toll-free call. You just immediately approach him and ask what you want. Don't fear them. Don't fear them unless you are guilty. Yes.
Okay, and how do you also coordinate with responders, first responders or health services, just in case of an emergency during the event?
That's why I said that we need quick report, because we cannot quick do the emergency or the response before we are told. That is, when you tell us immediately, we come in immediately. But when you take long to tell us, again, we shall take long, because we shall find when things are not the way it could be at the first place. Therefore, we call upon them to tell us timely information. Information. If you give us timely information, the response will be timely. Yes.
Then also, I do understand that it's not always smooth for the police. Have you had times whereby you have encountered resistance from the community? Even as you prepare for this major event last year, in the previous years, and if yes, how have you handled it as the police?
Resistance is always there, but we know how to handle our people. We know how to handle them. Those that need the force is applied. Yes, where they do things that you need the force is applied. But we cannot apply force where force is not called for. That's why we know how to tame them.
And how have you trained local leaders to ensure that they actually do speak to their people ahead of this day?
That is why we do community policing, and community policing in villages is mostly done with the chairmans. We put them on board. We can't leave them. We cannot work in isolation. That's why we need the LCs always would, and the meetings that we do. They are the people on ground that emphasize that.
Okay. Then how are you ensuring marginalized and vulnerable groups are included in the planning as well?
Yeah, this is for everyone. It is not for an individuals.
Yes.
Or it is not for a specific group. It is for every Ugandan. Over vulnerable, or not vulnerable, over disadvantaged or not disadvantaged. Or if you're a Ugandan, you deserve the service. Yes, we cater for everyone. Security does not isolate. It doesn't specifically like that we are going to give security to this. No, we give security to Ugandanese. And we give security to everyone that has attended the occasion.
And now when it comes to numbers, earlier I was speaking with you and you said you cannot really tell the numbers that go to the site for the celebration.
Yeah.
But what are you expecting as the police?
Expecting as in
terms of numbers, in terms of security, what are you hoping that, how do you hope this to actually move? Even as we come to the 3rd of March and the end of the celebration.
Yeah, the capacity, as I told you, that when we reach to the capacity of the place and when the place is seen that it is full, we stop the entrance. Then we cannot say that we stop on this such number, but we estimate and we see if people are starting to suffocate. Of course, we shall stop the number of people that are coming in and it will be closed. And those that are in are the one that will be in. Yeah.
Now, finally, how do you hope the event will turn out on the side of the police? And what can you tell the people out there to look out for, even as we head into these celebrations?
One thing I am calling upon the Ugandans is to control the excitement. Excitement causes problems at some point. When you are coming, no, it is you alone. Don't trust anyone you find at Namugongo. Everyone has gone for his own problems. Don't join them. If you do that, you'll be a victim of circumstance. Therefore, we are calling upon you. Know what you want. Have a target. Don't go with bandwagon. Don't move in a group. Be focused. You have a family, and this is a one-day event, but there is another day tomorrow. Mind about tomorrow than today. Yes, you have gone to Namugongo, you've done what you're supposed to do, but after then, what next? Mind about your tomorrow, mind about your security. I'm coming in as a police officer, but it is you first. Before you do the action, then I'll come in. But it is you, the first police officer, to secure your life, then I come in for enforcement. Therefore, take charge of your life, be responsible, move with the people you moved with. You've not gone to make friends. You've not gone to make friends, and you've not gone to harm others. Whatever you do there, those that are going to steal phones, those that are going to steal people, we are getting you. Our surveillance is on the ground. We have intelligence everywhere. You land in us and you will go.
What penalties are there for such people?
Of course, penalties are there because for us as police, our major role is to arrest you, do the file, send to the state, and you go to court. Then the court will decide.
Okay. Then also, something that is really, really important that we had left out, traffic on that day. What measures have you put in place to ensure that traffic on that day moves smoothly, to ensure that even the people who are coming on foot, of course, there are people who are from Kampala who will probably come with their cars, their personal cars. So what measures have you put as the police and traffic police to ensure that there is smooth movement around the place?
That is why I told you that we have cut-offs. There are roads that are not going to be, there are roads that cars are not going to be allowed to use. And there are people, and by the cars don't reach Namugongo. They stop very far from Namugongo. And people are moving on foot. And we have diverted cars from where now, like this route of Kira, it is cut off.
Okay.
People are not going to use that route with cars.
So please do inform the people, if you can, some of those routes that they should not use on that day.
Of course, we are going to extend that. Due to that, I didn't come with a list of the people, the roads. But what I want you to be assured of, that there are roads that are cut off, that we are not going to use with vehicles, and we are not going to use with motorcycles, and it is only people walking through it. Yes.
So it's very, very important that
And if you are so wise on that day, no need of a car, because the jam will be too much.
It will be a lot.
Yes, you shouldn't use a car. You should use your foot, and you do the sacrifice.
Like all the rest. Okay, and your final words to the people out there, even ahead of the big day coming ahead.
One of the issues I want to assure you, and one of the call for you, Ugandan, is your security matters, and you are the first security officer of yourself. Don't wait for Sebuliba to come before you do things right, and other things that the law is going to take its path. Don't think because of this that the law will stop. No. If you do any crime, we shall hold you answerable. Therefore, avoid criminality, avoid fighting, avoid stealing, avoid robbing, avoid. And by the way, the cases that do happen in such events are the penalties are high than the normal ones. Therefore, be vigilant, take charge of your life, and I will say, for us as security, we are ready. We are ready to serve you, we are ready to protect you, but don't fear us. If you find a police officer anywhere, ask. That Afande, I'm asking, you will be helped. Anywhere you find a police officer, don't fear. Don't fear, don't conclude your way. Go approach them, they will direct you. They are human. And by the way, they are there to serve you. They are your servants. You take that, ask them, and they will guide you. But don't ask them what you want them to tell you. You ask them to be guided, because if you want me to guide you, why do you ask? If you know already, why do you ask? Therefore, you asking because you don't know. Go there, ask in love. However much they are also tired, because they are also working. Don't go and harass them. And again, I'm calling upon the police officers, wherever you are, show love to these people. This is the time to prove that you are there to work for them, you are there to serve them, direct them. And if they don't know, if they have asked, don't assume they know. However much they are seeing it, are you not seeing? No. Don't be tolerant. Understand them and direct them where necessary.
Okay. Well, you heard it right there from our community liaison officer, ASP Sebuliba Muhammad. You have been told to not fear the police, first of all, because they are here to protect us. They are here to keep us safe, especially on that day, because a lot of activity will be happening. And of course, even during those activities, we will have people who are not there for the right purposes, because we are all not there for the right purposes. But of course, yes, the police force is definitely here to keep all of us safe on that special day. And of course, we do want to thank you for your service, and we do continue to commend you, and we cannot wait for that day. We do know that we will be safe. And of course, for every policeman out there, please just open your arms, make sure that you make it comfortable even for us to be able to approach you. But yes, we have come to the end of the show. We were discussing security vigilance ahead of the Martyrs Day celebrations. As you all know, we celebrate Martyrs Day every 3rd of June annually, and even as we prepare for this beautiful and wonderful day, we do expect that even you as the community take the initiative to make sure that you keep yourself safe. To all the mothers, you have been advised to make sure that your children, that your family is well close-knit, so that, you don't have to start running around the kids and also searching for your children at the end of the day because they are lost. You are also advised to make sure that your children are there with you at all times, whether it's a mother, whether it's a father. And families have also been advised to stay together just to make sure that, nothing goes wrong. And of course, make sure that your property is also safe on that day, because safety starts with us. Well, we have come to the end of this show. It has been a pleasure, and of course, thank you, ASP Sebuliba, for being here. Thank you for giving us some of those guidelines that we also have to take as a community to ensure that we are safe on that day. And it is time for me to say goodbye. We are done for the morning, and of course, we are done for the entire week. We will be seeing you back on Monday. That will be the 2nd of June. So it is time for me to say goodbye, and I wish you a blessed day.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family TV.